Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Unchained Patriot. I'm your host, Tim Davis, aka Professor X. Just one man, one opinion, freeing one slave mind at a time. It is February 17th, 2023. And welcome to my show. A lot to talk about. Don't even know where to start, but let's get started, right? I guess we're going to get to the current events, what's going on, taking place in this country, what's going on around the globe. A lot of negative stuff going on. So I'm going to start off by starting off with the positive that happened this week. So I'm going to basically do current events in the last 30 days that's been taking place. So just last week alone, Congressman Thomas Massie, he introduced a bill HR 899, which is to terminate the Department of Education. Yep, terminate the Department of Education, another alphabet agency. And Massey's right. Massey is right. I agree and support this bill. It should be abolished. And I've been saying this probably since like 1993, 1994, when I was a young 22, 23-year-old man. And what changed my mind about it, what made me believe this was simple. When I first heard I heard an older guy say this to me, when I was a young man, a young buck. When I first heard somebody say that the Department of Education should not exist and should be abolished, I thought they were nuts. You got to realize I'm 22, 23, just got out of high school, college, and I just thought they were nuts when they were telling it to me. Then he asked me, just name one academic metric that has improved since its inception in 1980. I'm like, 1980, it's only, 13, 14 years ago, whatever. And I couldn't answer it. I couldn't answer it then, and I can't answer it now, 30 years later. Matter of fact, nobody can answer it. Answer it. If you think you can, leave a comment in the comment section. And just one more thing before I move on. Just one more thing, just to be clear. I think we should abolish all the alphabet agencies. All of them. There is no constitutional authority for any of them, not the IRS, the DHS, FBI, CIA, EPA, none of it, DOJ, none of it. There's no constitutional authority for any of them, and they all were created with an executive order. So I think we should. I'm doing videos, short little videos on all these agencies. I only did like 2 so far. I'll link them up in the corner somewhere. You can check them out. So this brings me to what I'm going to talk about right now. I believe there's a war on the American Republic. These alphabet agencies, along with liberalism and the New World Order globalist people, I believe they are systematically trying to shut America down. And they have been for a very, very long time, but it's more blatant the last 4 or 5 years, right? If you just look back, just look back in the last year, food manufacturing plants being burnt down. Just this year alone, just this last couple of weeks, multiple train derailments carrying toxic chemicals leaking into the water systems that are going from Ohio through Kentucky, West Virginia, Missouri, all the way down out through to Louisiana, out into the oceans. And this is just in the last couple of weeks, the last 30 days, I'm going to focus on. And look at these events. They're all happening simultaneously, foreign and domestically, right? So let me get back to this 5 derailments. There's been 5 derailments in the last month. And one just yesterday on the 16th. The 5 derailments. One was in Louisiana, South Carolina, Texas, and Ohio, which happened a couple of days ago. And just yesterday in Buren County, outside of Detroit, they were carrying other hazardous material, Same operator as East Palestine derailment. We're seeing 2 chemical leaks at a warehouse and warehouses in Katy County, Texas, Harris County, Texas. Just 2 weeks ago, Space Force dumped 700 gallons of gasoline on top of a mountain in Maui, Hawaii. Las Vegas, it's been going on for about 3 weeks now, 3 weeks, close to a month. There's a major gas leak, underground gas leak in Las Vegas. My question is, where's OSHA? I'm a construction worker, New York City construction worker. I mean, I'm going through OSHA classes left and right every 5 years, qualify this, qualify that. But where's OSHA? Where are they? It's just another scam, especially in New York City. They scam us for money. It's all about money. All the BS that I had to endure over the last 25 plus years with classes and training, every job site I go on, you got to take an hour pre-safety course, this and that. For what? If the CDC, the DOT, the EPA, and OSHA themselves don't follow their own rules, because I can guarantee you that they don't even have an OSHA 10 card. They don't. And that's why we're seeing the mess we're seeing right now. I really think we are being attacked from within. Our so-called leaders are failing at every decision that they're making. From the CV-19 the bio weapon that was released on us in 2020, in 2021, 2022, and they're still pushing it to right now, where over 600 million Americans took what was based on the experts and leaders, a jab, the CV-19 jab, that was going on. 600 million Americans took the advice of these so-called experts. And we see what's happening. What do we see what's happening in 2023? Sudden illnesses, sudden deaths, they call it. And they have no explanation for it. I don't know. It just seems to me the leaders of the EPA, the DOT, they just they just set fire to they just release toxins and let them on fire, causing like a World War I type agents. Like the gases that were used in World War I. When they lit this stuff on fire into our atmosphere, into our waterways, which covers thousands of miles, maybe half to 3/4 of our waterways is going to be affected by this. They're all connected into one river. It's almost biblical. I don't know, between that and Nord Stream 2 pipeline bombing, like where in Revelations 8:11 says a third of the water will be bitter. I don't know. That's up to you to decide. Let me just show you like what's going on. I mean, I'm sure you guys seen it already. I don't, but this is from Ohio. These are the country. Look, this is the map of it. Look where that's going. From Ohio all the way down through Kentucky, West Virginia, Missouri, you name it, and it comes. Look where it's going, right into the Gulf of Mexico. Just look at that. And it branches off to the east and to the west and to these other little tiny rivers. That's just a direct route that's happening. Where's the EPA? It's just mind-boggling. I mean, even just yesterday, the governor of Ohio, Governor Mike DeWine or DeWine, however you want to pronounce it, he told the news, which really ain't reporting it, that FEMA, the Joe Biden administration, and FEMA is still denying assistance to East Palestine, Ohio. You tell me that this ain't a war on the American Republic. You tell me how liberalism has not become a despotism in this war on the American Republic, colluding with their New World Order globalists, these great reset people. You tell me that. You tell me I don't know. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I could definitely be wrong. But you tell me how it's not happening. It's happening right in front of us. And so it's going to bring me to another thing I want to talk about. I'm going to predict and give the word of the year for 2023. The word, here we are, February 17th. So the word, by the end of the year, the word that's going to be the word of the year is baffled. BAFFLED, baffled. I'm going to explain it to you. So when these so-called experts in the CDC and government agencies, when they can't dazzle us with brilliance, they have to, we have to be baffled by BS, right? And what do I mean by that? Want me to give you an example? Here's an example of that. The so-called experts in the medical field, experts say they don't know the thing that's causing everyone to suddenly collapse. I got to choose my words wisely, obviously. They're telling us they don't know what's causing everyone to suddenly collapse, sudden illness, sudden deaths. They don't know what's causing it. But they will tell you it's definitely not that one thing. We all know what it is, right? That one thing, the big elephant in the room. They definitely know it's not that, right? And all these sudden and unexpected deaths and collapses, they tell you that they're completely baffled by it. That's what they tell us. They're baffled by it. They don't understand. These are experts. Medical graduates, men, women from Harvard, Yale, Colgate, you name it. Dartmouth, NYU, these sudden deaths, these sudden and unexpected deaths and collapses and cardiac arrest, they're baffled by it. So that's why I tell you the word baffled should be the word of the year for 2023 moving forward, because when they can't dazzle us with brilliance, we have to be baffled with BS, right? I mean, if you really, really think about it, it's not really hard. I mean, just on our phone, we got a computer at our hands. It's right here. We have a whole computer. And people don't use it to look up things, but things that make you go, what's going on? Oh, let me research something. If you really look at it, from 1966 to 2004, only approximately 1,100 athletes under the age of 35. That's from 16 years old to 35 suffered some kind of cardiac arrest or sudden collapse from 1966 to 2004. But if you look from 2021 to 2022, there was approximately 1,600 of that age group that suddenly had cardiac arrest. 2023, there's more. I don't have the updated data on that, but it just keeps growing and growing and growing. I mean, we just seen a couple, a month and a half ago, a little more than a month ago, the Bills safety, Damar Hamlin, whatever his name was, he collapsed. And actually, he gave an interview and on Super Bowl Sunday. Let me see if I can pull it up. I mean, you tell me how this makes sense. I mean, what are they hiding? Let me see if I can pull this up. Give me a second, guys. Forgive me. Let me see. I'm a New Yorker stand, so we have a little rain going out right now. That's what I'm sure you saw it, but you explain this to me. How is this even possible? Let me see. This is with Michael Strahan. I guess he did an interview with Michael Strahan. They're not going to let me get it. I have it right here. but for some reason I'm not getting an internet.
Since it would cause his heart to stop beating. You're 24, peak physical condition, can run circles around me right now. How did doctor describe what happened to you?
Pay attention to this.
That's something I want to stay away from. What caused his heart to stop
We'll
beating?
do it one more time.
You're 24.
One more time.
Peak physical condition. Can run circles around me right now. How did doctor describe what happened to you? That's something I want to stay away from.
That's something he wants to stay away from. He can't answer that. What are you hiding? What are they hiding? What do you mean? They basically died on a football field at 24 years old. You were resuscitated, and you don't want this. You don't feel like you want to discuss this, or you can't discuss this. Really? Okay. I don't know. Anyway, moving on. This is why I'm saying there is a war on our republic. It's being perpetrated by these liberal, rhino, progressive elitist and this global leftist agenda. And we got to wake up, folks. We just watched the coup d'etat take place with the Trump administration. We watched it firsthand. It's still going on, right? Now we got this clown, Joe Biden, in office. This buffoon of a human being. He's in office right now. It brings us to the main title of this show, really. With the Ukraine war, the Ukraine crisis, which is another buffoonery. It's just a little reminder, because we are now, I think, a year. It's a year since Russia invaded Ukraine. It's been a year now. So let's go back to March 11th of 2022. March 11th of 2022. The great Joe Biden, the most popular president ever elected in American history with 81 million votes. He goes on national TV, national stage, and says, the idea that we're going to send tanks to Ukraine, that's what you called World War III. Not my words. Not me making it up or wishing it happened or wishing he said it. It's his words. He says, the idea that we're going to send in tanks to the Ukraine, that's called World War III, March 11th, 2022. Fast forward 10 months or so, January 25th of 2023. But 5 weeks ago, he says this. Today, I'm announcing that the United States will be sending Abrams tanks to the Ukraine. When a brink of World War, 10 months prior, you can't do it. Now you're doing it. Is that an act of war? I don't know. But it brings me to this whole Nord Stream pipeline, Nord Stream 2 pipeline that was blowing up last month. So I ask you this, please leave a comment. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Do you think the U.S. government blew up the Nord Stream pipeline? Do you? Please leave a comment. When I hear this, when this question was first proposed to me, or when I think about it, when I hear other people talking about it, I'm going to show my age here. I think of like old episodes of like Columbo. Remember Peter Falk? That's Columbo. It's great show. I still watch it to this day. Great show. You gotta think like Columbo when it comes to this. You gotta think like this. One, why would Russia do it? Those pipelines are the main source of income for Russia. Why would Germany do it? Those pipelines are the main source of heat in the winter for Germany. The U.S. government has the means, the motive, the opportunity, plus they threaten to take out the pipelines if Russia invaded. Joe Biden said this. Of course the U.S. did it. Of course our government did it. That's an act of war. That's an act of war. That's why Russia, even Germany now has come together where China and Russia, they're going to the UN of all places, the UN really. I mean, it's like a script written out of the Bible or written out of some kind of Alex Jones or 1984 conspiracy thing, right? Of course they did it. Of course. I mean, even what's that? The Nobel Peace Prize writer Seymour Hersh, former CIA guy. They say he's not, but he is. He's an old hippie from the 60s and 70s. I mean, he wrote an article in the New York Times and called it a mystery. But the United States executed a covert sea operation. It was kept secret until now. It was just released a week ago. And he explains how the America took out the Nord Stream pipeline. People are discrediting this guy. He's the only one that's really talking about it. Like award-winning on the mainstream media people. But you got to look at it like this. I mean, if it's true and it's proven that the American government did, in fact, blow up the pipeline, wouldn't that be considered an act of war or a terrorist attack and a violation of Article 5 of the NATO agreement? An act of war on both Russia and NATO. According to Article 5, it's an act of war because they deliberately took out a pipeline that was feeding a NATO nation like Germany, other NATO nations with natural gas. It was a terrorist attack, no? According to Article 5. Plus, it was an act of war against Russia. If it wasn't America, it was NATO. If it wasn't NATO, it was America. If it wasn't NATO and America, then who was it? There's only like 4 countries on this planet that are capable of pulling that off. And we know it ain't Russia, and we know it ain't Germany. That leaves like 2 other countries that are capable of doing it. And those 2 other countries are NATO alliances. No? I don't know. It's an act of war on NATO and Germany. And when you look at it from that perspective, what should the other members of NATO do? How did they react? Right? Or Article 5, you attack one country, they all attack that country and attack that country. Right? That's what Article 5 says of the NATO agreement. I don't know, folks, man. It's just getting ugly out there. If nothing else, this just proves NATO is an obsolete. Proves they're obsolete. And America needs to break ties, no more alliances with them, no more U.S. taxpayers funding them. It's useless. Europe had over 2 world wars in over 80 years to solve these problems. And here we are on the brink of World War III on the same crap that's been going on for thousands. I don't know. I know saying the popular comment, and I might get, so I got to make sure I word this right because it's definitely not popular. But I'm going to say it anyway. One man, one opinion, right? One man. I'm unchained, dude. I'm the unchained patriot. If you look back at history, Hitler had a grand plan for a bigger Europe too. Adolf Hitler, and the Nazi Germany, and Third Reich. They definitely had a grand plan for a bigger and better Europe. And I keep coming to this conclusion. Just because the flags change, the plans haven't. And what I mean by that, let me show you this. I'm going to show you a map of Nazi Germany in 1944-45. And I'm going to show you the map of 2023, the NATO countries. Now you tell me what's different. Look at this. The one to the left, Nazi Germany, that's what they had conquered and control of in 1944, 1945. These are the NATO allies to the right with the NATO flag, the NATO symbol to the right. You tell me, what's different? I don't know. I'm not smart enough to determine that, I guess. You know what I mean? And that's why I'm saying to you, who knows, history, I can go on and on. There's a lot of things I can say I can't say for obvious reasons, but Hitler had a grand plan for Europe. And I always say faces and name changes. I said many times that this is fascism's last stand. We defeated Hitler in the Third Reich, but we did not defeat Nazism and fascism because it's alive and breathing well in 2023. Just the flags changed. Just the flags changed. And remember this: keeping you asleep, keeping you enslaved, keeping you chained to mental slavery is big business. It's in our schools, our universities. It's in your work field, it's everywhere. It's big business. Just obey, conform, buy, consume, watch television, conform. It's like the movie Alive. It's just all happening. But everything changes once you do awake. And that's why I said in my opening monologue, I'm just one man, one opinion, trying to free the mind of one enslaved mind at a time. And if you like this message and the videos I'm doing, please give a thumbs up, hit like, hit subscribe, notification bells for future shows, and so on and so on. You know the drill. So I'm going to leave you with this. I'm just one man, one opinion. And I'm just one of many who are an unorganized truth fighting an organized lie, right? An organized truth fighting. And we're fighting a multi-billion-dollar propaganda industry with the YouTube videos, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, whatever it is. We're fighting a multi-billion global dollar propaganda industry with just little videos like this. And that's why you got to support, not just me. You got to support everybody. You got to support everybody out there. Got to give thanks to all the truth speakers out there, the bloggers, the vloggers, and we got to keep our eyes on the ball. We got to keep our eyes on the ball, and that's really it. I'm not going to talk about the spy balloons and the UFOs. We can go into that. I mean, I'll give one more thing. I'm going to talk about one more quick thing. This week we had the the beginning of the week, we had that shooter, the mass shooter, in Michigan. There was a mass shooter. But the shooter, he was a convicted felon, and it was illegal for him to have a gun. It was illegal for him to have possession of a firearm. But what do the Democrats do? What do these liberals do? And the liberals in Michigan do? They are pushing for more gun control laws. Pushing for more gun control laws. Despite the fact that the MSU shooter was previously convicted of breaking gun laws. In the end, the incident happened in a gun-free zone. The only one with the gun was the bad guy. Imagine that. Well, that's my show. I'm Tim Davis, aka ProfessorX from the Unchained Patriot. Signing out. Hope you enjoyed the show. Please hit like, subscribe, notification bell. I'll talk to you guys soon. God bless. God bless you. God bless America. Peace out.